The 100, cricket's fourth format ready to take off in England. As the name suggests, the 100 will feature 100 balls per innings, 20 less than a traditional T20 game with a duration of 2.5 hours. English cricket makes an audacious dive into the unknown with the launch of the 100, a unique 100 balls per side format, touted as the game's fourth version on Wednesday. Cricket already has three formats at international level: 5-day tests, 50 over duels, and T20Is. Even though T20s have been conceptualized in England, the England and Wales Cricket Board (ECB) believes a slimmer version is needed to attract a younger and more ethnically diverse audience to the game. The idea behind the 100 is to bring moms and kids during the summer holidays. Andrew Strauss, former director of England cricket, has said. The ECB had plans of kick-starting the competition last year before the pandemic derailed their plans. The hundreds will consist of 8 franchises featuring men and women's teams beginning on July 21 with the women's match between Oval Invisibles and Manchester Originals at the Oval. How is the 100 different from a T20 game? As the name suggests, the 100 will feature 100 balls per innings, 20 less than a traditional T20 game, with a duration of 2.5 hours. The 6 balls over are done away with in this competition and replaced by a set of 5 deliveries known as fives. The umpire will hold a white card to signal the end of the first set of fives. It's the fielding captain's discretion whether to allow a particular bowler to bowl 10 balls, 2 consecutive fives from one end, or 1 5. There's a 2-minute timeout thus a fielding side can take after the first 25 balls, though it's not mandatory. The term batsman does not exist in the 100. It's replaced by a neutral term called batter. A few other changes are as follows. A bowler can bowl up to fives. The first 25 balls in each innings will be a power play, where 1-2 fielders are allowed to be stationed outside the inner ring. In the 100, no balls are worth 2 runs, followed by a free hit. A fielding captain can station a maximum of up to 5 fielders on the leg side. If a fielding team doesn't finish its quota within the allotted time, they will have to bring an extra fielder inside the ring till the time they end the innings. Unlike in a T20 game, the non-striker does not take strike even if he has crossed during a dismissal. An amended Duckworth-Lewis turn method, which will look at the number of balls and not overs during rain-hit games. In case of a tie in the group stage, both teams will earn 1 point each. If it's a tie in the knockout stage, a Super 5 tiebreaker will be used. If the second Super 5 is also tied, the team had finished higher on the ladder during the group stage will progress. Why does English cricket need this format? Simpler and shorter when compared with the T20, the 100 is aimed at making the game more accessible to a wider audience, especially mothers and kids. The popularity of the Indian Premier League has prompted the ECB to create its own prototype, one that's unique and stood out from the rest. In an interview with Sky Sports, Tom Harrison, while terming the hundreds as a profit center, reckoned the cricket board would stand to earn up to 11 million as profits by staging the hundreds this year, inclusive of broadcasting rights, sponsorship deals, ticket sales, and merchandising. Harrison argued this would help ECB tide over most of the losses incurred during the last 18 months due to the pandemic. If that's the case, why are people opposed to the 100? The 100 is termed gimmickly an unwelcome addition to an already congested calendar. The ECB has also received considerable flack for downplaying the intelligence of their target audience, moms and kids, by suggesting that conventional cricket was too complicated a sport for them to understand. Critics have also labeled it an attempt to reduce the number of counties by stealth. The homegrown 50 over domestic tournament, which was a showpiece event in the English summer, has now lost its scene, with the final being played on Thursday and not on a weekend. In essence, this will see an exodus of players to the hundreds, with counties like Surrey losing a dozen players. Recently, many feel the level of competition in domestic cricket will reduce considerably. In a similar vein, the T20 Vitality Blast is now being squeezed into a smaller window. Even the first class fixtures itinerary have been sculled around, played between April and May and the second half during September, thereby giving the 100 a much bigger stage. Are Indians participating in this competition? There are no Indians from the men's team in the 100 draft because the Board of Control for Cricket in India does not allow them to participate in overseas franchisee events. However, five women cricketers will be participating in this competition. They include Safali Verma, Harmanpreet Kaur, Jemiha Rodriguez, Smriti Mandhana, and Deepti Sharma. Have international players withdrawn due to the pandemic? Yes, there has been a spate of withdrawals by international players due to the pandemic, biobubble, fatigue, and travel restrictions. It's not the start ECB had hoped for. Australia's David Warner and Glenn Maxwell, New Zealand's Kane Williamson, South Africa's Klegos Rabada, and Pakistan's Shaheen Shah Afridi are some of the big names to have pulled out from the men's event, while Australia's Meg Lanning, Elsie Perry, and Alicia Healy will not be available in the women's competition. What does the future hold for cricket's diet version? Without the presence of major international players, it remains to be seen whether people will come in hordes to the stadiums or plant themselves in front of their television sets to watch. Despite the surfeit of T20 leagues mushrooming across the globe, it's too early to predict whether ECB's Dream 100 ball project will bring about the next big revolution in cricket. Thank you.